Hello guys and welcome back to another Hunter's Prestige fitment video. On today's video we're going to show you how to fit the Hunter's Prestige Integrated Canards. Okay, so the first step on actually fitting the canards is actually to remove the front bumper, and we actually have a video to show you how to do that just up here. Okay, so the tools required for today's installation, you are going to need a ratchet, we're going to be using an electric one. You're also going to need a T20 bit, a pick, and also some masking tape. Okay, so the first step is to actually remove the sensors from the front bumper now that the bumper is off. So these are done by releasing the two tags either side of the sensor. Now there are 6 sensors in total for the front bumper. The reason we apply a little bit of masking tape on the front sensor is just so that none of the paint gets damaged in the process, because we're not actually going to be unclipping the sensors, we're just going to be moving them out of the way for now. Okay, next step, using the T20 bit, we're just going to remove the screw on this side and release that mud flap if you haven't already done so, and then the one screw remaining on the other side as well. Obviously the other screws you would have already removed to release the bumper. Now we're going to release this H section, so you're going to release this T20 here, this T20 at the top, and then on the other side as well in the same sort of placement. One there and one there. Okay, then using a pick, we're just going to release the fog lamp covers. These are like a H clip, so you can just release either side of this with a pick, just to extend it so you can actually release that tag. We always find this sometimes a bit tricky, especially if it's on a brand new car or an older car as well, essentially. The best thing to do is just get the pick behind that section of the clip release tag and put tension on the front fog light cover. And then hopefully they should release relatively simple. And then obviously we'll repeat this on the other side. Now again, these tags can be quite tricky sometimes. If you are struggling, what you can do is also spray a bit of soapy water on there, just to get rid of any dirt which is stuck behind that tag. Flip the bumper over, and we're going to release these T20s here on either side of where the fog lamps are. And also the ones at the lower as well. Now, this is the reason why we need to take that section off and actually release the whole bumper as well, because these are underneath the other panels. And it makes it easier to gain access to them. And then release the T20s on the other side. Flip the bumper back over again. Then we're going to release the tags at the bottom of the bumper, just here, to release this coil cover. Again, all these clips are relatively the same, the tags in the back, so it does take some getting used to actually release them, and can be quite time consuming sometimes. Once you get a hang of a couple of tags, yeah, you know the way they work. Like I say, it's just like a triangle connector which goes through the bumper and actually retains itself within the gap. Then we're just going to release the tags at the top as well. One there. One on the inside. And all the way along the front here as well. We have seen sometimes, if you've purchased a aftermarket bumper pack from anyone else that isn't us, sometimes these tags can be quite difficult as they use a different material. So again, you can use some soap water solution, just release some tags a little bit easier. Right, now that's done, you can now release this H section of the front bumper. And then we're just going to start releasing the quarter panel now. So we're going to release this tag on this end, and one closer in the middle. Again, these have just got 2 retaining clips either side. It's nice and easy to do with a pick. And we're just going to separate the skeleton from the actual quarter panel, again using a pick. And following it through all the way around. And there is a retainer clip just here that holds that quarter panel there. And then that one is off. Okay, then we're just going to do the other side. Again, 2 retainer clips or tags. We're just going to separate the skeleton and the quarter panel again, just releasing these tags at the top. And using a pick underneath just to release it, and then release the tags at the top as well, just here. And then that quarter panel is now off. And we're going to grab our integrated canard and now put it where we actually remove that quarter panel. Make sure all the tags line up and push them into place. They should click in quite nicely, but again, if you do want to spray a little bit of soap water on there, it will help the connectors go in. And reinsert the retainer clips, like so. Make sure they're engaged nicely and sit housed nicely. Again, just make sure all of the tags that we have then just put in are all in correctly, and you can actually see that they're being retained. And we're going to reinsert this mud flap or splash guard. Move that T20 bit. Now, there is just one screw on each side. So if you are putting more than one in there, that is the wrong process. Now we're going to refit the other side as well. Making sure you line up those clips correctly and the sensor holes go through nice and easy. Sometimes it can get caught that way. Make sure no sensors are stuck underneath that skeleton as well. So the retainers. And also reinsert the mud flap. one screw using the T20 bit to retain that on. We're going to reinsert the sensors, and again, if these don't go in very easily, we do recommend using soap and water on the connectors, so just spray the actual sensors and also the housings, and that'll make them slide in a lot easier. Make sure both the clips either side of that sensor are engaged in the housing. Best way to check that those sensors are actually in place is to actually spin it over and actually have a look at how the rubber is sitting in the sensors. Obviously, if the rubber is stuck a little bit, the sensor may go off, so the best thing to do is just to pick them out a little bit or remove the sensor and reinsert it again. Then we're going to reinsert all the Torx T20 and reinsert your H-frame. Smacking them in place. And again, if you've got an aftermarket bumper, our ones are very easy to go in, but some other aftermarket ones are not as easy, so you may need to use soap and water solution again there, just to help them clips go in. Reinsert T20 screws. Again, there's 6 of these. Reinsert fog light covers. Make sure it's inserted in the skeleton correctly. Should look like this. And then repeat that process on the other side. Sometimes they do take some persuasion to get in. Again, if you use soap and water, that will help it be lubricated and go in easier. Flip the bumper over. And reinsert the inner sensors . Again, using the same process, 2 tags either side to retain that in the housing, and reinsert the T20 screws. Pull the tags through from the H-frame, make sure they're engaged properly. And this is why we use a pick, just so we can get underneath that clip, just pull it through. Then we're just going to go around, just do a final check, make sure everything is set properly and sitting nicely. All the connectors are in as they should. Now you can reinstall the bumper, follow the process on our bumper removal video at 1643. So there you go guys, that is the end of today's fitment video on how to fit our 100 Prestige Integrated Canards. A final check to make after you've actually fitted them and the bumper is back on the car is to actually make sure that all of your sensors are operational, and of course if there is any issues you will need to go back within the video and find out the step that you need to take. If you've got any questions on how to fit these integrated canards or any questions in general, please get in contact with our sales team who are more than happy to help. As always guys, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay up to date with what we're doing here at Hunters. See you on the next fitment video.